I've been studying numerology for probably 4 months now, and I find it really interesting. I find that for some reason it works. For some reason, just analyzing dates and numbers and dates work, and it allows me to do better things in my days and like know what to do with what day. And so I found that depending on where the person comes from, like for example, I analyzed a lot of English numerologists and Russian numerologists. So depending on where the person comes from, they have a different system, and it makes sense. And there's a lot of different systems of analysis. But two main distinctions that I found is that when people are analyzing the day, they're either using something that's called universal day, which is all the numbers in the date put together. So for example, today I'm recording this on 27th of May 2025. So 2025 was a 9 year, right? Because you add everything becomes 9. Then the May is fifth month. So 9 plus 5, 14. And 27, that's 2 plus 7, that's 9. So 9 plus 9 plus 5, that's 23. That's a universal day 5. Okay? But then you can't, like in my opinion, you can't just analyze this and ignore the fact that it's still 27th, right? So the day still holds the vibration of a 27, and you can minimize to a 9, or which is easier. Is genuinely just easier to analyze as a 9. Or you can think about it, okay, how does 2 and 7 interact in a way that it gives me a 9? So what's the energy like that, okay, it's a 2, it's like a diplomatic, emotional, moon based, feelings based thing that then goes into a 7 with a 7, right? Which is more like self reflection and actually the opposite of the 2, and how they interact, and then how that gives a 9, which is planet Mars, and it's more straightforward and aggressive and powerful and shadow leadership in a sense. And what I've been thinking about is that it's weird to just analyze just one thing, and that's where I find that numerology is hard, and especially that whenever you're coming into it, whenever you don't know like where to study, it's very hard because there's so many different versions of it. Like people, like one person will just be saying that okay, today is a 5 day, but today is a 5 day, but universal day. But then today is also a 27 and 9 day, and like you can't just ignore one. It's like, well, imagine if a guy comes and he has a black suit, but yes, he has a black suit, but then he might have a blue tie underneath, and he might have a white shirt, and yes, he has a black suit, but is that really everything he has? And then like even with that analysis of the days, it's still good to analyze the year. Like yeah, it's still a 9 day, it's still a 5 day in a 9 year. So it's not just picked apart. It's not just a unique thing that it's a 5 day or a 9 day today. And that's where I find that numerology is quite hard. And I also feel like once AI is properly built, learned, like machine learning is done on sources about numerology or about other things, AI will have an easier way of putting it together. And I know that some people say that like, oh, I will never go to a tarologist or numerologist or astrologist or exologist, mixologist, fakeologist, whatever. That is AI, because I want the person who I'm gonna go to be connected with the source, which makes sense, right? So we're unified field of consciousness that grabs the thought, the source, and then puts it out, right? It makes sense. But then I do believe that everything that is random, it actually happens with some intention. So everything that is random, like a song that I might play on a Spotify shuffle, that is random, it's not actually random. Like, it has been given to me in that exact moment because of something. So that's what I believe. So I believe that whenever there actually will be AI that can easily put together things, like, okay, I know it's a 9 year, I know it's a 5 month, I know it's a 5 universal day and 9 day. Okay, put this together for me. It's going to be much more efficient, just because it is harder for a person has to learn a lot and think a lot and be in the field of doing that thing a lot to actually be able to like easily put it together. And then you still have to analyze all the days. You have to analyze them in comparison to the person. So you can't just be like, oh, today's a 5/9 day. Yeah, today's a 5/9 day, but then I'm a person that's born on first and I'm a life path 3, so I have to analyze the numbers of the day in regards to my own numbers, right? And then I can go harder with it, and I can think, okay, I have to also analyze my year in comparison to this year. And then there's my personal year, there's my personal month, there's my personal days that I don't even know how to figure out yet. So it's very interesting how something can be so exponentially hard, and it's also hard to find info, and it's not hard to find info. You can find info, but it's hard to find good info and discern whether the info is correct and whether you should use this info instead of this info. Was my main topic. I'll have to write the time at the start just so you can skip to the main topic, because this is it now. So weirdly, I've been analyzing the days for probably 3 months. I've been consistently writing them down in my diary. I'm using Obsidian, so I have themes that are like, I have tags for specific days, I have notes for specific days, so I can link them, so I can then analyze them, etc. So I've been doing this for about 3 months, and what I notice is that sometimes the day, for example, today is 5/9, universal day 5, sometimes it's like they come the next day. So for me, yesterday, not for me, for everybody, yesterday was 4/8, and it's like I feel the 4/8 today instead. And that happened to me quite often. So it's not that I noticed it once or twice or 3 times. I noticed it a lot, that it's as if I'm lagging and the day actually comes a bit late. And this also makes it very hard, because if we genuinely think that that is potentially true and I'm not just tripping, then not only you have to analyze all of the numbers, you have to take into account that for some reason you might experience the energy later. And that's weird, because why would that happen? You know? Well, that's pretty much it. That was my message. Peace, bro.